Hello and welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is a reading for Cancer. If Cancer is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I'm merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. Now, remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Ooh, a 9 of discs. Very nice. Very nice. A lot of good things are coming our way. Let's put that into some context with our Dove and Serpent spread. Very good. Very good. We all need this, I'll tell you that. Also, if there's anything you need me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know, okay? Just leave a comment. I read every comment. Okay, Path of the Serpent now, finishing that up. Looking good, looking very, very good. We're going to do our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. I think all of the other signs, Cancer, are going to be jealous of you because this is the best reading so far in this cycle of readings. This really is, just looking at every card here is perfect. Every card is perfect. We're going to do one card for our bonus card, our mystery card. We're going to select it, place the frog on top so it doesn't go anywhere. No magic tricks here. And at the end of the reading, we'll see what that card says, if it ties things together, if it maybe gives us the confirmation that we need at the end. So we've got major, 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 major. We've got earth, earth, fire, 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 earth. Very nice. We don't have any of the water, Cancer, which is interesting because we're water signs. Yeah, I'm a Cancer too, solar Cancer. There's no water in the reading. So what this could be telling me is that we're not focused really on how we feel right now, which is hard for us to kind of to quiet that down. Cancers are usually very aware of how they feel, right? Maybe we can't always explain it. We can't always put it into words and verbalize it and articulate it. There's not a lot of air energy here either, okay? So what we have mostly is fire and earth and major arcana. That is the creative, masterpiece. That is the magnificent energy that is you creating, okay? That is you taking the materials, the raw materials in front of you and making this masterpiece, okay? We're not trying to articulate how we feel. We're not spending our time trying to put into words. Nobody's asking us, how are you doing? How are you feeling? What's wrong? We're not trying to explain ourselves to anybody, right? We may feel how we feel, and that's just how it is. That's just the fact. That's something that is invisible here. How we feel is not, it's not a factor in the energy that's going out or in what we're doing right now. It may be an invisible force, and by invisible, I mean we're not able to put a description on it. We're not able to articulate it. So there are no cards here. The water energy is here. It's in all of the empty places, okay? Because we don't need to talk about it. We don't need to express it. We don't need to articulate it or explain it. We feel it. We know it. It's ours. It's in here. And that's enough for now, okay? So, you know what? I'm going to start with the 5 of discs in the background. This is a very serious situation we're in. This is intense, okay? The 5 of discs or pentacles in the background here says that all of this, really, it's almost like an interruption in the life of a Cancer, right? We're just going along our merry way, trying to articulate how we feel, right? We're walking down the street trying to articulate how we feel. Suddenly we're in this situation. It's an interruption in the regularly scheduled programming. And I think there's some financial difficulty, or it could be a health thing, Okay? It could be an injury or an illness. It could be both together. It could be a hospital bill, you know. I think that there's some kind of interruption in your daily life. I was using that kind of jokingly or as a metaphor, but it could literally be that your life has been interrupted by some kind of injury or illness or a financial thing or all of it together. Okay. Whatever the crisis is right now, it was abrupt. I think, yeah, you were just kind of going along your merry way, and then here it is. And that creates a lot of anxiety. Okay. And yes, all of our water is on the table, but all of this energy is just kind of floating on top, right? We don't have time right now to try to explain how we feel. We've got to do this work. We've got to create. And we have that fire energy in us because Cancers are the cardinal water sign. We've got that fire of the water. We can use our water to nourish, to heal, or we can use it to transform, to erode the rock, to mold our raw materials. So something's going on that is requiring you to act, rather quickly, to step forward and be the leader, take charge in some way. It's a situation that does cause you a lot of anxiety. There's some uncertainty here. The ground is kind of shaky, right? It's the 5 of discs. It's you're standing on these little stepping stones in the pond, and they're just floating there. So they're not like anchored to anything. So your feet are just kind of going like this. We're a little unsteady, but we can do it, right? The situation may have rocked us a little bit. It may take us a second to get our balance again. Because we're used to water. We know we can handle stuff like this, but it maybe takes us a minute to kind of adjust our equilibrium, to get our balance, to get our sea legs. And now with these 9s, 9 of discs, 9 of wands, you have an intense foundation, and I think this really is built into you because the 9s, right? 9 of wands, 9 of discs. The number 9 is associated with the moon, and the moon rules Cancer. This is something built into you. This is something that's fundamental to who you are, even though ask any non-Cancer, and it's not the first thing that they would say. Is Cancer a lot of fire and earth? Is Cancer a creative who knows how to kind of harness the divine light and manifest it and mold reality and to manipulate raw materials to create? Most people would say, that doesn't sound like a Cancer, really. Maybe a fire sign or something, but this is something that's more hidden. This is something that we conceal. It comes out in moments, right? When circumstances kind of force us into it, we can perform, but we tend to say thank you, no thank you. We tend to go to the background. We tend to let somebody else step forward and do it. Cancers aren't the first to volunteer, but if you're selected, you're going to do a kick-ass job. It's fire and earth. So we have the 9 of wands here. I guess first of all we can start with the 9 of wands. This is a foundation of real conviction. You have the ability to commit yourself to a path and you stick to it, right? When you find something that really activates your moon here, when you find something that really connects with you, speaks to you, you have the ability to kind of devote your life to it, to be ruled by it. Right? Ruled by the moon. And you know what else? High Priestess at the end. High Priestess is the full moon. Full activation of that spiritual energy that we allow to control us. Right? And that sounds kind of bad, right? To say we let it control us. It's what we are obedient to. It's what we are devoted to. And it is the source of our kind of hidden power. That hidden kind of Cancer power that you ask someone on the street, they may not be the first thing they say. So we have this We have this ability, this skill. And I think the situation that you're in now is requiring us to make this commitment, right? And I don't know what this is, if this is involving friends, family, loved ones, if it's you, if it's whatever, I don't know. Maybe we'll get some details about it, but right now I don't know what this crisis is. But I do know that it's something you can commit yourself to fixing, to solving, to creating, to manipulating and molding into perfection, to fix it, right? I don't think you volunteered for it. I think it was thrust upon you. Someone else raised your hand for you. But now you're in it, and now you can fully activate your fire energy, right? This is a real strength. Cancers are very strong people. Especially when it comes to things like this, I think that this is where you really shine for some reason. You know, if it's whatever this Five of Discs is, this uncertainty, this kind of crisis, emergency, whatever this shaky ground is, that's when you really come alive. That's like, you can do this, right? You have that confidence. And I think it's just, I don't know, I think it's because the people you care about are relying on you, right? So we have this activation of this moon energy, and it is just kind of, we come alive, and we allow ourselves to kind of be led by this moon energy. You know, we really tap into our own spirit, our own soul, this kind of high priestess within us, you know, that is directing us. And our conscious mind, our ego may say, I don't want to, I'd rather stay home, you know, I don't know how I feel about this. But that spiritual place in us is kind of overriding that stereotypical Cancer water, right? So we're really kind of kicking ass. And we're doing 9 of Wands and 9 of Discs. So the great things are coming to you. This is you really creating whatever is going to kind of remedy this situation, whatever the problems are. You kind of have the power to solve it, to fix it, to remedy this. Okay. And a lot of this is going to be an expression of your creativity, too. We've got this fire energy now with this earth energy. So you really are taking this creative spiritual fire and you're putting it into this problem, and it's creating the abundance. It's creating the magical kind of solution. The 9 of Discs is all about stuff coming in. So you're able to pull in either resources, finances, pulling in this healing energy, right? Whatever it is, you're actively drawing it toward you, okay? It could be financial, and it's through your efforts that the finances are tremendously going to improve, right? Tremendously. And that has its own appeal. Here is the Devil card, Capricorn energy. This is the fire of the earth. Because Capricorn is the cardinal earth sign, just like Cancers are the cardinal water sign. So in this case, this Devil card is represented by these two, fire and earth. Fire and earth in the Devil card here. So this ability for you to use your really potent creativity, this really active, almost obsessed, creative force is really rather it's rather appealing to you. It feels really good, right? So, you know, this is at the top of the path of the Dove, by the way. So more than you fixing the situation, right? We got crisis, solution, and result. And that's fine horizontally, but vertically, all of this ability that you have, this skill, this talent, this creative power that you've activated right now because of this crisis, now you're getting a little bit, you've caught the fire of it. You know, you're very enticed by this. Now you can't really get enough of it. And so this might be the beginning of a real like spiritual revelation for you, that you have this potential for this kind of creativity, this leadership, this confidence, this assertiveness, this ability to mold your reality, to manipulate and utilize resources in whatever way you choose, right? So it's a real power. Now you're kind of getting seduced by this power, by this confidence, you know? And I think that's a very good thing for you, because I think Cancers generally, typically, need a little bit of that kind of confidence. They need to get into this devil energy a little bit to help balance out some of the other kind of water energy. And this is, I think, is kind of the opposite on the wheel of the zodiac, right? Got summer, we got the dead of winter. So I feel like this is kind of that shadow aspect of Cancers that now is coming out full force, and you're really living that externally. It's become conscious, you're integrating it, you're kind of living in that energy for a bit, and this is good for you. It's good to integrate that opposite of us, right? That Capricorn energy. Down beneath everything now is the Princess of Wands. So this now is the Earth of the Fire. It's Capricorn energy, but inside out, right? Now it's Earth of Fire rather than Fire of Earth. So this is now this devil energy that we have to be careful of, because it has its own shadow side, which is more destructive than it is constructive. So as part of your kind of spiritual development through this crisis, this horizontal crisis, which we're not done with yet, but through this energy, you're activating this really creative, confident side of yourself. But we have to be careful that that goat doesn't really like ruin us, right? It doesn't go around and eat all the furniture, eat up all the money, destroy what we've built, right? Break down the fences and the walls and everything we've just constructed. So this could really run wild, this devil energy, this creative energy. And we could be so obsessed with it and just like seduced by that power that it starts really kind of like ruining our lives, you know. And that's the really extreme shadow side of this. So we have to be careful with that. We have to use that wisely, and we have to really balance it with our other energies to be aware of what's going on there. All right. And now finally, both of these paths kind of converge on this Hierophant energy. And this, I think, is just the real lesson in all of this for you. It really is teaching you a lot about yourself and your ability to handle problems, your ability to solve these kinds of issues and problems, and how you react in a crisis or an emergency, how much of this fire earth energy you have, how creative, industrious, and confident you can be, how much of a leader you can be. The Spirit is really trying to teach you a lot about yourself right now. And this is, it's all coming to a head right here in this Hierophant. This is at the center of it all. This is you being able to help to heal or correct this situation, and this is Spirit teaching you so much about yourself through this process. Okay? So we have to remember that the meaning behind all of this is being of service. Right? That we've activated all of this energy to help this situation. Whatever's going on, we're trying to help this. Okay? We're not just power mad, you know. It's all for this purpose. So we have to focus on this kind of being of service, energy as a way to keep things in balance, keep things in perspective. Now, moving to the path of the serpent, we begin by this star card. This is a cosmic perspective. This is you feeling like you have become this radiant star, and it's almost like you've emerged from your shell now, you know. Now you've become the butterfly. Now maybe you even know kind of what your purpose in life is, what the meaning of your life is, what little section of the infinite is yours now. That's an intense feeling. And I think that this is that kind of knowledge and certainty now of what you want to do with your life. Through this crisis, through this power and creativity, through all of this, now you've been learning a lesson. You've been being taught this whole time. And I think what you're learning is who you are. Which star in the company of stars is you? And this is it. So I think this is what you're discovering about yourself ultimately. I think all of this work on the path of the dove has led you here. And this is stellar. And in the environment, we've got what? More fire plus earth, right? We've got more creative energy and confidence and force and spiritual force and fire brought into the realm of the physical, material world. Right? The fire energy now contained in a little circle of fire, a little fire pit. So what you're able to do in your environment, let's say, is you're able to contain all of the little fires, for one thing. That's a kind of an on-the-nose interpretation. Whatever these crises are, whatever the emergency is here, you've gotten a handle on it. You've got everything contained. So good job there, you know. But you're also discovering for yourself kind of how easy it is to do that. How well you handle pressure, how well you handle a crisis, and how your confidence and creativity, your intuition, your inspiration, can manifest so easily. You're getting so good at this, you know? So now your whole life, your whole world, your whole environment is reflecting your creativity. You're able to build these fires, these controlled fires of your creative will. And so this is a really, I think, a new thing for us. It's a new way of looking at our own energies. And now we're out here, we just want to keep manifesting everywhere we go. And that's quite intense. And I think that's part of your purpose here, the meaning that you've found, the little section of the infinite that you've carved out for yourself. Maybe you're doing something very artistic now. Maybe you're leading something that's very artistic. Because I feel like with all this fire energy, there's this real a striving, a real desire now for you to get out in front of people and perform almost, right? So I don't know if it's something completely opposite to your usual nature. Maybe you're going into acting, stage acting. Maybe you're doing something involving like communications or public speaking or something that you have to be out of your shell in order to do, right? Maybe that's Four of Wands for you. And maybe that's part of the star. How are you expressing your stardom, your starlight? How is it shining, right? I think it's something we never would have really suspected. Now, what we don't want is the Four of Pentacles. I think we don't want to ever go back in our shell. This is kind of, this is staying inside the house. This is a little agoraphobia, maybe. This is really not wanting to come out. And this is maybe the fire pit or the ring of fire after the fire has been extinguished. Now it's just dirt with rocks around it. It's not the same beautiful campfire that it was. So we don't want to go back to this. We don't want the spirit to withdraw. We don't want this fire energy to withdraw the situation or to withdraw from us. We want to keep it. We want to have access to it anytime. We want to learn how to make fire, right? We want to learn how to rub, two sticks together and create fire. We want to know the methods and the means to invoke this fire rather than just waiting for the world to give us a crisis whereby it is drawn out from us. We want to learn to control it. We want to learn to use it as we will. Okay. And now finally we do see this priestess energy again, the full moon that rules Cancer. We can do all this. We can learn how to invoke our own God, goddess, deity, guardian angel, spirit guides, the source of our own creativity, our own fire, our own spirit. But it has to be done with humility. It has to be done with obedience to our own higher nature, right? We can't just go completely shadow side, devil energy. We've got to do it in service, not only in service to others, friends, family, loved ones, not only in service to the community or to the world, not only in service to ourselves, right? But in service to the spirit, right? In service to the star itself, the starlight itself. It's a very holy thing. We don't want to ruin it by being too much in this shadow energy with it, right? So we have to allow ourselves to be, ruled by the moon as we are. And that moon is the kind of the reflection of the sunlight. And it's one that really speaks to our inner nature. So we're able to kind of be very much aware of how we're behaving in this shadow energy. When we're in the shadows, the moonlight makes those shadows more apparent. We're not just blending in with the darkness. Full moon, brighter, we can see the shadow. So we can be aware of what we're doing, how we're behaving. And we can try to honor the starlight, honor ourselves, and make the right decisions, you know? Very interesting. We're going to do this mystery card, and I don't know what this could be. Probably more fire and earth, maybe, of some kind. The Lover's card. Oh, that is very cool. That is very cool. The Lover's card, this is kind of us marrying the two sides of ourselves. This is now not being fully in this fire, earth energy, not fully in this devil energy, our shadow kind of, the hidden light and fire and creative confidence and all that stuff. It's also us accepting the water and air parts of ourselves that we said weren't here, right? We said there was no water and air in the reading. It's all fire and earth. So this is us about now. It's almost like I wish on this table, in all of these empty spaces, the water and the air energy would just appear, right? Because it needs to be integrated. It needs to be whole. We can't just reject the water and the air in favor of the fire and the earth. We need to marry ourselves with ourselves, right? We need all of that energy. So this is the confirmation card that says, look, this is all, like I said at the beginning, this was just an interruption in your daily life. Well, this interruption is very important energy, but now, as we move forward, we have to integrate all of it together. And that's very important. We don't want to stay here, but we don't want to just continue along our merry way with our regularly scheduled programming. We want new programming that is more holistic, right? More integrated. I think this is a very, very important card, very important message at the end of all of this really wonderful energy right here. Okay. I hope you'll leave me some comments. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if this is resonating with you. Okay. As always, let me know if there's anything that I can pray about for you. Okay. If you want to check out the extended, just click up here. We're going to do 3 cards, few minutes. We do it for every sign. I would love it if you joined us. Thank you for letting me read for you. And thank you for being the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot.